We can talk about Tiger King, seeing as how we both watched that, if you want.
All right, well, Tiger King it is then.
Hey guys, welcome to the Nice Guys of Comedy podcast with your hosts, Jack, Vincent and Nick Crooks. Oh, and by the way, they're from the north. That's the reason they sound that way.
So, first of all, overall thoughts on Tiger King?
Brilliant documentary.
Really?
I'm gonna get it out there. Yeah, I just think the way it was done, first of all, was just you wanted to keep watching. I mean, the first episode were a bit on the slow side,
Yeah.
but Joe Exotic's enough
Yeah.
to make you want to watch the rest.
I thought it were really cleverly done. Like, the guy who was... The thing is, with most documentaries, they're normally done after the crime. Like, you're normally watching them, like, when they're interviewing... Yeah, they had interviews with people post it's all happening. But this guy was making the documentary ongoing. So there was actual conversations and stuff like that with Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
The best comparison I can really make, the last documentary series that really blew up was Making a Murderer. And have you seen Making a Murderer?
I haven't, but I know the story.
Yeah.
Because I've actually Googled the trial.
Yeah. Well, if the actual narrative of Making a Murderer was it was all done retrospectively, obviously, because the guy's already in prison. But I thought it was really clever and really, like, happens chance that this was already being made before all the crime kicked off. I thought that was a really good way of telling it. I will be honest though, 80% of it wasn't really a documentary. About 80% of it was like almost like a soap opera.
Yeah.
Like, it was so out there and so insane that you're like, what the fuck? Like, I was watching it and I said, like, it was about midnight and I was like, I'll watch one before I go to bed. And I thought, I think I watched 2 or 3 or whatever. And then the last bit of... Oh, I'd like to preface this, by the way. If no one's watched Tiger King yet, and you are intending to watch it, then just stop listening, because we're going to talk about it in a lot of detail.
Yeah, and also, fuck you, because you should have watched it by now.
Yeah, you literally have the time to do this.
I mean, it got pointed out to me that I say fuck the audience a lot. But it's only in a dire need when really you should have been doing the things that everybody else is doing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
What else have you got to do?
Exactly. If we have the time to put out 2 episodes a week, you can watch Tiger King.
Yeah. And I'm working as well.
Yeah, you're working full time. That, you know what I mean? Like, that's even worse. Not worse that you're working, but like your time is taken up.
It is, Jack. It is.
Like, I like how I completely forgot that you were working, and I was hounding you about the episode to go out with. Do you like it or not? Just want to go out? You're like, Jack, I've been working. And I was like, oh yeah.
The thing is, I have my phone on this shelf, so I'm like, with the machines and stuff going, I like didn't hear it. Looked at it at like 10 to 5 and went, oh, it's probably already going out.
Oh, so yes, sorry. So about the tagging, so I watched about 2 or 3 episodes, and it was getting to quite early, late in the morning. So this is about like 2, 3 in the morning, and I was like, right, I've got to go to bed now. And then, no word of a lie, it literally ended on, well, that's how Carol Baskins fed her husband to the tigers. And I went, well, I've got to fucking watch on now. Yeah. It can't leave me on that. So then, no word of a lie, I literally watched the remainder of the series and went to bed at 9 a.m. Like, I watched it all in one go. It is insane.
I mean, we sort of did that, but we went to bed at 1, but we watched the last 4 episodes in one go.
Okay. I thought narratively it was done very, very well. It was the most bizarre case I've ever heard. But one thing that I noticed in it, not one, like most documentary series, you have like a side that you're on, like a good guy and a bad guy. Not one of them people are nice people.
No.
They are all horrible human beings.
And I want to bring up the fact that no one came about to like question rapey Doc Antle.
Yes! Thank you. Like, no one questions the fact that he's going around being very rapey and creating a cult, and the fact that Joe Exotic is grooming teenage boys.
Yeah.
Like, no one's questioning this.
You've got that. You've got Doc Antle, which looks like a rapey Tim Robbins.
Yeah. I'll take.
Put a picture of Tim Robbins next to Doc Antle. Anyone that's listening, and tell me that he doesn't look like he's just broke out of Shawshank and set up a fucking tiger sanctuary.
Oh, it's true. I just don't get how people are doing this now. I don't get how no one was saying these guys are rapists.
Well, one of the reasons is you're not going to get close enough, are you? Because they've got a shitload of tigers.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, I might be doing all this illegal shit. Come get me.
Come get me.
In this tiger cage.
One other thing that I questioned was, why is it tigers? Because, like, with all due respect, like, am I right in saying that a lot of these had other big cats? Like, they had lions and panthers and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, they had them all, didn't they?
I mean, to be fair, I suppose a documentary couldn't be called The Lion King, because that would fuck some kids up.
Yeah.
Can you really imagine?
Mum, I've just watched some weird shit. I mean, the kids said shit in it.
Yeah. If they had our upbringing, it would not surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then, so I went to, like I said, they then did this bit about Carol Baskins, who obviously killed her husband. And then a little bit later, it was like, and then that's when Joe Exotic ran for president. And I went, what? What the fuck? Like,
see, you think that's crazy, and everyone in the documentary was like, this, he's never going to win. But Trump won.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only difference between the two of them, apart from the fact that both of them are batshit crazy, is that one had more money than the other.
Yeah, you're very right.
Like, imagine if Joe Exotic had $1 billion.
Yeah.
It could be Tiger King in the White House.
Can you genuinely imagine that? Can you imagine?
And Carol Baskins would be fucking... She'd get killed by just some passerby. Some exotic fanatic.
Oh, that is...
USA! And then Carol Baskin hit and run. USA! USA! Fuck you, Carol Baskins!
That's true though. Like, he could have done it, and imagine the world that we would be in if Joe Exotic was president.
Tigers roaming the street, just walking around like the fucking Pokemon.
Tiger Go rather than Pokemon Go. Oh, that is. Oh, I just. It's the most bizarre thing. And I'll tell you the one there's two people in the documentary series who massively irritated me. I won't remember their names because they weren't huge people. First of all, it was the guy who became the FBI informant about that lemur.
Oh, the fat dude.
Yeah, I think the thing that irritated me more was the guy's hair. Like, the curtains thing that was going on was just fucking... It was just fucking weird. Like, not a fan at all. The other person who irritated me was his campaign manager. The guy who saw when his husband shot himself in the head. The guy who saw it all happen. Like, don't get me wrong. The one that... have you seen the new episode as well?
Yeah, the shit makeshift episode.
Yeah, that was like, what was the point in that? Like, there was genuinely no reason in that.
I'm sorry, but I don't know who the actor is. I do know. I've seen him in some stuff.
Yeah.
But that's like a has-been actor going, how can I get myself back on TV?
The thing is, I've been in a couple of group chats where people have been calling Joel McHale a bit of a has-been actor. And I feel quite sorry for the guy, because I was about to say he is quite relevant, but I think he's bigger in America, because he was in Community. Like, he was the main character in Community.
Yeah, I had to Google him, like, to find out that he was in Community.
Yeah, and then he also had his own talk show with Netflix like 2 years ago. So I think he's bigger in America. I don't think he's made it hugely over here yet. But what got me...
No, well, I'll tell you how crap he is.
Go on.
This is just a statement of how crap he is. He was in Spy Kids 4, for Christ's sake.
Oh, okay. I take everything back. I take it all back.
And not even as a lead role. He was the dad who married a spy. So the stepmom was a spy. So he wasn't even a spy.
What
He didn't even get a good role. So the kids find out that the stepmom is the spy. So he didn't even... They're not even, like, spy related.
So he was in... Okay, I take it all back. I'm sorry, Joel McHale, I was going to defend you, but if you're taking a supporting role in Spy Kids 4, which, by the way, I wasn't even sure was a film. I didn't even know that was even...
To be fair, Jessica Alba is the stepmom.
But she was a spy, like, fair game. That's the Invisible Woman.
Yeah, I don't think she realised how shit it was going to be when she took the role.
Yeah, but imagine the amount of people who took a role not knowing how shit it was be. Exhibit Halle Berry in fucking Catwoman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, to be fair. I mean, she jumped on the superhero bandwagon when it was going somewhere.
Exactly, she was Storm.
But picked the wrong fucking hero.
Yeah, just stick to Storm, love. Just stick to Storm. But yeah, so the campaign manager, what I'm about to say, I don't know if was an interview they did outside of Tiger King or was actually the episode. I've done so much watching that I can't remember. But that campaign guy, he said how he was annoyed that when he saw, was it called Travis, Joe Exotic's husband who killed himself?
Travis, yeah.
When Travis killed himself, that Joe didn't offer him any sort of counselling. And I'm sat there like, I don't mean to sound funny, but you've been living on this estate. You've seen what's going on. You've seen how batshit crazy this guy is. Do you think he's going to be funding health insurance?
Yes.
That guy.
Well, not just that as well. He's got people living there in caravans. Do you really think he's going to fucking offer you some like mental health treatment?
Exactly. Like, do you
Can't
really,
even provide a safe place for them all.
do you
to
really
live.
think that's going to be the top of the price? Like, the guy remarried like after 3 weeks. That guy don't give a shit about you, mate.
I mean, the balls that Joe Exotic must have to invite Travis's mum
Yeah.
to the wedding for like 15 minutes and then go, okay, right, we're married, thanks. See you later.
See you later, bye. But what I also found weird is like, is he called Dylan, the new husband? Dylan?
Yeah.
I've got Dylan in my head, yeah. So the new husband, he brought a camera crew on their first date. Can you imagine just rocking up on this fucking first date and there's a fucking whole camera crew there?
Well, obviously Joe would love that, wouldn't he?
This whole thing was fucking insane. Well, yeah, he fucking would. Like, apparently in prison, he's loving all of the attention that he's getting, which is no shock at all.
Yeah.
But it's just fucking insane. Like, how it's literally like an episode of EastEnders. Like, you're watching it and you're going, "What the fuck's going to happen next?"
Yeah.
It's insane.
I mean, we'll go back to the point that Carol Baskins did kill her husband.
Undoubtedly. Like, don't get me wrong.
100%.
I normally take a standpoint when it comes to television documentaries. Like, I'm like, oh well, we're not detectives. We shouldn't be having this sort of thing. We shouldn't be doing all X, Y, and Z. The fact that she declared him dead one day after he went missing and then got all that money, nah, mate. You killed him.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, some people need closure. Appreciative. But that one day to me told me that she did it. Fuck you, you cool cats and kittens.
Well, it's not just that. The fact that she went and got the will. Who goes? I'm pretty sure if my wife died tomorrow, my first thing would be, where's the will?
Yeah, you wouldn't. You'd be like, I'm a bit upset. Like, what the fuck? And his will...
And the fact that the executive...
exactly.
You're going to say exactly the same thing.
You say it.
Changed dramatically. Because the woman who was the executive of the will went, that's not the will that he had. And the fact that he said, in the event of my disappearance, who the fuck writes that in a will? Not death.
Exactly.
Disappearance. Didn't even say death.
Exactly. Like, don't get me wrong. People can plan anything in the future. People can plan whatever's going on. But if you have any doubt that you're going to be disappearing, maybe look to that person's spouse, because that is fucking definitely happened. It's undoubtable that she killed her husband. And I don't know why I've only just noticed this, but I've been sat here and I'm actually wearing a shirt right now, and the actual shirt that I'm wearing is covered in tigers. And I did not plan this.
Nice. You did. You sat there like fucking Tiger King yourself. Well, do you know one thing that I think as well is that every time you watch any movie or any police drama, right, and the first thing that happens is the husband dies, and the one detective says it's always the spouse, right? And the police do fuck all to look into her. They literally go around her. They go, nah, she can't have done it. Well, that's not what American movies tell us.
And I'm taking them for fact right now. Like, what they say goes. I don't understand why she wasn't looked into. I just don't understand it in the slightest, because...
I do. That police department got a shitload of money.
Well, yeah. They definitely did once she actually got that fucking money. Like, it's undoubtable how no one has suspected her. Like, I just don't get it. Like, and the way that she was, like, don't get me wrong, what Joe Exotic was doing with the tigers was horrendous. And it was disgusting. But what she was doing, when started saying that she had her own like sanctuary, I was expecting like basically like fucking acres upon acres where you'd have two tigers who could run around for. They were keeping them in cages.
Yeah, it was shit, wasn't it?
They were.
Yeah, and it was shit.
Yeah,
I think her place were the shittest of them all. Like layout wise, not what they did to them or out like that. I just mean like,
yeah.
It looked like I'd put it up in my back garden.
Nick Crooks, Yorkshire's Tiger King.
I'm not even joking. A load of fucking tabby cats in my fucking back garden in cages, feeding them fucking dead mice.
Well, what I find weird as well is the fact that Carol Baskins, like, you can go on her internship, and she's expecting you to do like 5 years of unpaid work. And it's like, don't get me wrong, some people it's an organisation where people want to volunteer. I get that. But she's wanting them to do 6 12-hour days?
Yeah.
How? I just don't understand how people think that's even possible. That's slave labour. Fucking cool cats and kickers.
Well, it depends what you want, doesn't it? I mean, like people go, I get to see a tiger on a daily basis. I've got my phone in my hand. If I want to look at a fucking tiger, I can. All right, and I'd have to work 12-hour shifts.
But as well, the thing with that is if people are like, oh yeah, but I get to hold tigers and stuff like that, that would soon wear off, surely. You'd be like, right, I've seen enough tigers now, I'm done. Like,
once you've held one tiger, you've held them all. I'm sorry.
You have.
But you have. You don't hold a new cat. You've held a kitten, right? You don't then go like 3 weeks later and hold another kitten and go, because you've held a kitten before, you know what it feels like.
Like when I was a teenager, I really wanted a pet snake. And I got a pet corn snake, which is a really small, it's not a python or it grows to probably like 6 centimeters or something like that. And literally, no word of a lie, after a month, it was no longer a cool pet. It was just boring. Because you can't cuddle a snake. So it just gets boring. Same would be with a tiger.
Yeah.
You've cuddled it once. After that, you're like, right, I'm done.
And it's just something you've got to clean.
Or in Joe Exotic's case, just shoot it in the head.
It's like when people get a dog.
That went really dark.
People get a dog and then enjoy the fact that they've got a dog. But then if it's raining, they'll go, does it really need a walk today? Probably not.
Yes. Like, I was sat there the other day and I was like, you know what? I live by myself. At the moment, I'm a student. I've got a bit of free time. I could get a pet. What about a cat? What about a dog? And I literally sat there and I was convincing myself I was going to get a pet. I was like, I'll get a dog, I'll get a cat. And I went, yeah, but they live for like 15 to 20 years. I don't want that sort of commitment. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. So then I convinced my friend to get a dog instead. So now they have the commitment and I get to look at a cute dog. That's what you should do. That is what you should do.
I mean, if you want a pet that bad, there's Nintendogs. Buy a Switch. Sort your life out.
Is Nintendogs on Switch?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know. But I remember it being on the DS, but I didn't know it was on the fucking Switch.
Yeah, got a copy in my house, mate.
Gee, what dog you got?
Oh, what did Lincoln pick? Oh, some little rat dog. Chihuahua, I think.
I remember I had a Labrador one.
I wanted the Alsatian, but obviously I get overruled. It's not my Switch.
It's not my Switch, so I've got to behave with the kids.
Yeah.
What else do you think about the documentary then?
I called that the two lads weren't gay. I called it early on. Like, my gaydar is on point. I don't want to be out there like that. But it is. It's on fucking... It shoots true.
Also, how happy are we about the husband who had his top off all the time? Aren't we just glad that he got some new teeth?
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad he's on the full path of recovery. No drugs.
Yeah, like, I was chuffed for him. I'll be honest with you, I can't say that I called that they weren't gay, but because I'd already heard that they weren't gay.
No, I didn't know.
When I was watching it. So I already knew that they weren't.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know what it was. It was just the fact that everything looked forced. From Joe's point of view, as in like he was always forcing the kisses and the touchy feely stuff.
Looking back, that Travis one, I could be like, yeah, you got groomed, whatever. But the other guy, that was 14 years of sucking dick for meth. Now I've never done meth, but is it worth that much?
Well, you've seen Breaking Bad, it must be.
I actually haven't seen Breaking Bad.
Right, new homework.
New homework. Watch all of Breaking Bad.
I mean, that's going to be a long time.
Well, I watched the first episode, and then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, but for like the first season and a half, it takes a lot to get into." And I'm like, if it takes a season and a half to get into something, fuck that shit.
It's just the fact that molds the characters into different people, and you see at the end, it is probably good.
But yeah, so I already knew that they weren't gay from like news outlets and stuff like that. But I was shocked. Saf, the zookeeper.
I mean, he got his arm ragged off for a start. Like
that bit got me as well. How he was like back at work within a week, and I was like, that, you know, I don't mean to sound funny, but I've worked in some places, and if I get a cold, I'm off for 4 weeks. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, like, getting your arm ripped off, and then you've got the thing of it's going to be years of reconstructive surgery, or you can lob my hand off.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'd take the surgery. I'm sorry. I would rather see what my hand would look like after some surgeries than just lobbing it off.
See, I was weirded out by that, but then I also thought that might be down to the fact that they don't have free healthcare.
Yeah, maybe.
Obviously, he's not in a well-paid job, so the likelihood is he would have to fund it, therefore no insurance, and there's no money for that. And if the cheaper option is to get it lobbed off, that's what I read into that. Joe Exotic wasn't going to pay for that to be reconstructed.
I mean, yeah, I get it that way. If you've got health insurance and you still want your arm lobbed off,
that's weird. Yeah,
crazy fool.
Like, because you could literally go through like 6 years of getting it reconstructed, not like the hand, and be like, yeah, lob it off then.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Well, as long as it works, it can look like the tiger's chewed it. tune it, can't it? But as long as it works, do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to. It just has to be functional. It doesn't have to look right.
Well, here's the thing then. If you lost your hand in any which way, accident, bar, whatever, you don't have a hand anymore, would you want a stump or would you want a prosthetic?
Does this prosthetic work?
That's going to be a follow-up question. Well, yeah, you can either have a prosthetic that works or a prosthetic that doesn't. But when we say works, like it's not like some AI shit that like works like a robotic hand. Like it's not advanced very well.
So I can pick up a drink with it. That's as far as we're going.
Yeah, but you're not doing like some fast texting with it.
I'd rather have the little weird hand.
The little weird hand. I'd be quite interested to have a hook. Like I would want a prosthetic, but I'd like ones that I can have different things on. Like I can have a hook, have a hand,
sword.
Have fucking lightsaber. Fuck that shit.
Like a Swiss Army hand.
Inspector Gadget, that shit. Yeah. Also, like if it's prosthetic, I want it to be quite a nice looking hand, like a nice tattooed hand, and then I'll be like, oh, I've got a job interview. Twist that shit off, get a new hand on, and then therefore they can see my disability. Boom, ticking a box there.
Free job, straight in.
Free job. That's like a friend of mine who will remain nameless in case they do apply for jobs. You know, if you've ever applied for a job and it asks you for the diversity thing at the end of it, they always put down that they're a bisexual Buddhist just to get an interview.
That is.
If you put down a straight white guy who's agnostic or out, fuck that shit. You're not getting an interview unless you're brilliant. Bisexual Buddhist, you're getting an interview.
Well, to be fair, I've never had that problem because I am brilliant.
I am brilliant.
No, in the world, it don't matter who you are. In the world of today, it's not who you are or what you know. It's who you know.
It's who you.
That's the way you get a job. Who you know.
Oh yeah, massively. I'll agree with that. Like I worked for plenty of places, and I know that people have gotten jobs just because of who they know and who they're banging. Like it's painful, but the reality is it's quite true. Don't get me wrong. There are certain places that you'd advance on your own merit, but they're few and far between. Yeah, few and far between, and that's life working in office politics.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I got my job from who I know.
Oh.
Because our lass's dad works there, so.
I'm here to defend it when you're like, no, Jack, I definitely got a job just based on the fact that I was screwing the guy's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How long have you worked there? Because if you worked at Morrison's then, how long have you worked at the place you're at now?
3 years, nearly 4. I mean, I've had a few jobs in my time, and I'm only 27.
See, part of me is like, Jack, you should probably get a job. But as well, what's quite funny is like the nature of the jobs that I've had as well. Like I've had some of the most random jobs that you can think of. Do you know Thompson Locals? I used to deliver them.
Oh, the book.
The book, yeah. I once had to deliver 30,000 Thompson Locals. Bear in mind, I don't drive.
Yeah, I was just literally about to say, like, what were you peddling? Were you on a bike?
No, so I literally walked around my estate and I would literally pack a little backpack, put in my MP3 player, and then go walking around. So I found this job, I got there, and I went to this little retail park where you pick it up, and I applied, and I got one route. And whilst I was there, they said, oh, the person who does these other routes, they've dropped out. Do you want to do these? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then they went, oh, where's your car? I went, oh, I've just come in a taxi. It's like, oh, do you want us to deliver the stock off to you? I went, yeah, that'd be great. So I'm on my way home. 2 days later, they delivered all these Thompson Locals and put them in the house. We couldn't move in the house. I was like 18, couldn't move for all these Thompson Locals. We started building furniture out of them because we just couldn't put them anywhere. We had a nice little chair that was just Thompson Locals. And in the end, like I skipped some of the houses because it was just not feasible. And then one night, my mum and my sister, like we were in my mum's car, me and my sister just blitzed like about a good 1,000 of them just going around the estate. My mum was just in the car, just driving along, and we'd like pick them out of the boot as we were going. And it was the most, put it this way, it was so not well paid that when the money hit my bank account, I didn't even notice it.
Oh, no.
I rang them up and said, you haven't even paid me. And they went, oh yeah, we have. Check my bank account, and it just got eaten up by my overdraft that I didn't even notice it. It was so bad. It was horrendous.
What was it, like 10p a month?
You got paid per route. So like one route were like worth like 150 quid. One route was this. So once in total, I think I got about 450 quid. But I had like a £500 overdraft, so I didn't even notice it. It was horrendous.
I mean, about the Thompson Locals, like, how do you feel that they are obsolete now and you had to deliver a shitload?
Well, the thing is as well, we're not exactly old. So this was probably about 10 years ago. The internet existed then. I remember walking around going, why the fuck am I doing this? Can't these people just Google for a number? Like, this is why does this even exist anymore? I think as well, the Thompson local that I delivered was the first Thompson local that they no longer did residential. So it was all business. So it wasn't one of them big, thick, like an Argos catalogue. It was like an Argos extra catalogue.
Yeah. I love how you've determined things by Argos catalogue size.
Well, we all know the size of a fucking Argos catalogue.
Yeah.
Like, but it was like one of the extra ones that they'd give out where it was like just clothes or some shit like that. But it was still a fucking trek and a half. And I remember walking around the estate and I had my MP3 player. And this was before like Spotify and stuff like that, or I had Spotify, sorry. So it was only thing I had was my my old iPod. But the only thing that I had on the iPod at the time, I can't remember why, was a CD that I'd put onto my computer and then transferred over. And the CD was like back to the 90s dance music. But obviously, like, I'm even though I'm a 90s kid, the dance music I wasn't really into 90s dance music. So I only liked like 5 songs. So I listened to these 5 songs on repeat. And one of the songs was that blue song.
Blue dabba dee dabba da.
Dabba dee da. That's the one, yeah. And I remember that being on repeat.
That's a good track, is it?
And it is a good track, but when you've heard it like 750 times, it loses its fun.
I thought you were going to say that you had, like, the only thing I had on my iPod was, like, Mr. Postman by Beatles. While you're delivering all these things.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait.
Oh, but honestly...
Wait, Mr. Postman, I don't want this shit Thompson local.
Oh,
because I've got fucking Google like everybody else.
The amount of people who hated me. One old man screamed at me because I stood on his lawn. Like, it was genuinely horrendous was the actual job. I safe to say, I will not be doing it. Well, I'm actually 28 years old, so I won't be doing it again anyway. But it was horrendous. I wouldn't recommend it. Also, if you want a telephone number, just Google it. Google's a thing.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be some people listening going, what the fuck is a Thompson Law?
Yeah. Think of it like a shit Yellow Pages. Oh, yeah, you don't know what Yellow Pages is.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
Google
Just
it.
Google it. But yeah, so overall then, did you enjoy Tiger King, going back to the subject matter?
Yes, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much, yeah.
Do you think that Joe Exotic deserves to be in prison?
Yes.
Yes. I was very much the same. Even if it was a case that he didn't do the crime, for what he did over time anyway, he definitely deserved to be in prison.
Yeah, because I genuinely don't think he ordered the hit on her.
No. It seemed dodgy.
Because them 3 are some dodgy motherfuckers.
Jeff Lowe seemed dodgy. Like
Jeff Lowe, is he called Alan, the other dude?
Oh,
who supposedly got hired to kill her.
The hitman who for some reason did an interview in the bath.
Yeah, him. Because one thing that I don't get is, Joe, all the way through the going, Joe didn't like Alan.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. He didn't like him. He didn't trust him with anything. They argued all the time. So they argue all the time, and then he goes, hey, you want to do me a favour? You want to kill Carol Baskins for me? I know we haven't seen eye to eye pretty much, and I know that you could probably put me away for this, but $3,000? That'd do it.
What I also don't know, they may have explained this in the documentary, or it may be me not really knowing the law that well. Bearing in mind, I think it's okay for me to not to know the law because I'm not going to kill someone. But if he got arrested, Joe Exotic, for paying someone to kill Carol Baskins, why didn't the guy who took the money to kill Carol Baskins, why wasn't he in prison?
I think it's because he dobbed on him, but he got immunity.
So if someone contacts me and says, Jack, there's $10,000, go kill someone, and I say, yeah, and take the $10,000, but then go to the police, I don't go to prison, but then I get $10,000.
Well, I probably wouldn't have thought you would have been able to keep the money.
Oh, okay.
Probably not in this country, but we don't know. It's like backwards America, isn't it?
It's batshit crazy.
Like, they have their own rules down there, don't they?
Yeah, and obviously there's different laws to different states, and I always find it weird, the American law system.
I'd end up telling a joke that if I went to some states, like southern states, I'd end up telling a joke and getting locked up for 20 years. I'm not even knowing why.
It's true. It's so true. It's the definite epitome of 2020 is Tiger King. It's so batshit cray, but in all fairness, so this whole year is fucking crazy. It's so fucking weird.
That was the Nice Guys of Comedy podcast with Jack, Vincent and Nick Crooks, recording from their own home and heavily fucking edited. Follow them at I am Jack the and at Nick Crooks Comedy, why don't ya? #NiceGuys.